All right, so today we're going to start talking about Standard 2, and if you pull up my lesson plan on the calendar, this is what the lesson plan looks like, and I just thought today would be a good refresher to talk about this. So I'm in first block right now, and those of you that are here in the classroom, I'm going to ask you for some feedback. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah. Okay, so for those of you that are not here, or you're going to come in tomorrow or whatever, I want to kind of relook at our lesson plans. Okay, so today we're going to start talking about what? Standard 2, and here is Standard 2, okay? And you have a sheet of paper where you have typed the standards, and today we're going to talk about various motivations for travel. Various motivations for travel. So I'm just going to highlight this real quick because this is the part of your annotations that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you to remember, what does it mean that these gray areas in our lesson plan is shaded? What does that mean? So like if we scroll on down, this is not shaded, but if we look right here, this is shaded. So tell me what that means. How do you know the difference in between a shaded box and a non-shaded box?
The color.
Yes. So what does that color tell you? That color tells you that this is something that the teacher's going to go over. It is important, but it's more important. It's not that it's more important for me, but it's just part of what you miss if you're not in class. Okay, so you read it, but it's part of the being in class, and that's why I'm covering this on the video today. You don't really have to turn in anything for the shaded parts. You give me a little nod if you understand. You have to really turn in anything because here's our standard. You don't have to turn in anything for our standard. Here are our learning targets. You don't have to turn in anything for our learning targets. But give me an educated guess. If we have 4 learning targets and one of them is bolded, what does that probably mean?
The bolded one's important.
The bolded one's important, and that's what we're going to talk about today because there's 4 learning targets for this standard, but we're only going to specifically talk about one today, and this is it, okay? I can identify and describe different types of travelers and motivations for travel. For example, or this means ergo, which also means for example, business, leisure, and visiting friends and relatives. Okay, so here's our learning target for today. So our success criteria. I can create a personal list of 10 reasons why I should travel, including 5 places to go on my bucket list. And I ask you to go ahead and start thinking about those 5 places. But now, what color is this box?
White.
No, what is it, shaded or not shaded?
No, not shaded.
This box here, shaded or not shaded?
Not shaded.
It is shaded.
What? You can't do that.
So it must be how your computer is rendering. Can you not tell a difference in between this box and this box?
Oh, I can see it on the big one.
You can see it on the big board up there? Okay, so do we have to turn something in for this box? No, we do not. Okay, this is just like my goals for what I have you do your work for today. So at the end of the day, you should have a personal list of 10 reasons why you should travel, including 5 places to go on your bucket list. I can identify 3 categories for travel and discuss a compare or contrast of each. Okay, so then that brings us to this box. What's special about this box?
It's not shaded.
It's not shaded, and this is where we start every day. Remember, we've talked about when you come into the classroom, what box do you go to and begin your work? That's right, the introduction and connection. And so we've now learned that our introduction and connection is going to be on our daily stream assignment every day in Google Classroom. And it says, please log into Google Classroom and review today's topic on motivation for travel. Okay, did that match what I asked you to do, the motivation for travel?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick. What was today's topic on our stream? It said 10 reasons to travel. Reach each of the articles above regarding 10 reasons why you or we should travel. So how many articles are there? 2. Okay. Compare, contrast each of the lists. How are they the same? How are they different? Answer below. Then select your top 3 reasons why you travel from the list and post below. So I've had 11 people do this. And something that I want to point out we've got to get better at doing this by like 8:40 every day. So like here's Renee's post that came in pretty quickly, because this should be the first thing that you start, when you come into class, you start working on, and that's just as much my responsibility as it is yours. So it's just a goal that we're going to get better with that, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back to our standard, and I am going to post this here just in case people are looking outside of the classroom for whatever reason. Here's our daily stream assignment. Now we go to a shaded box. Teacher will show this video and lead a class discussion. So if you're not in class, can you really do that?
No.
You can't participate in a class discussion if you're not in class. So it's shaded because you don't have to turn in anything for this, but it's a part of the class experience, which is why it's called direct instruction. Okay? Students will share and discuss their traveling experiences and facts they found worthwhile from the video. Personal connections will be encouraged. Again, you don't have to turn anything in for this. This is what I'm doing. This is the teacher's responsibility box. Okay? And then together we will annotate standard 2. And so the first thing that I've asked you to do is what? Define motivation. Okay? So then you're going to complete the Google Classroom assignment on motivations for travel. And that is going to be found where? Google Classroom. Okay, so handouts will be provided for those students in class. So if you're not in class, you will notice that I put the handouts on Google Classroom when I let go of your computers and you see for just a moment, and people could copy and paste and just turn in through Google Docs. Okay, so do you have to turn in something for this box?
Yeah.
And we know that because it's what?
Not shaded.
It's not shaded, so we have to do something here. Students will identify 5 places they would like to go for your bucket list and decide what is motivating you to do so. So it probably has, the motivation piece probably has something to do with what we're going to talk about today. And then you have a shaded box for summarizing and checking for understanding. Students will share one of their 5 bucket list places with the class. The class will guess the motivation. Do you have to turn anything in for this?
No.
Because it's shaded. If you're not here, can you really make that up?
No.
No, you cannot. So you shouldn't stress out about that if you're not here. Okay? So I just wanted to go over this lesson plan and discuss the difference in between shaded and white boxes. The white boxes are things you have to turn in because it's just a plain Google Doc, and then the shaded areas are areas that are important for you to read and understand, but you don't have to turn anything in or worry about if you miss what's in the shaded box. Capiche?